as you mentioned before, you had multiple businesses, and I'm sure you know how to motivate people. What do you think? What do you think motivation is, and do you think everyone can be motivated? There is any secrets to motivate people you can share with us?
Yeah. So as I see, let's take an example. Let's say you're hungry, and now you're motivated to find food, right?
Yeah.
You ate 2 burgers, maybe 3. How much motivated you're gonna be to eat 3 more for bring you if you're already full?
I think my motivation will be disappeared.
Right?
So
I think if
I'm
I'm gonna tell you,
much.
Hannah, come on, Hannah, let's do it. Hannah, you can do it.
Yeah, I will say I'm sorry, I cannot. I'm not eating this much.
So maybe motivation, it's not everything. Maybe first you need to find that person who's hungry, first step. Because if he's full, you can motivate people forever. It's still going to be motivated people. It's not going to be a lion. You understand? I mean, we can keep motivating. But how I see motivation. What is motivation? Let's start with that. If you take a child in high school and is a student, he gets all the grades A in math. The other student is F. He is not good in math and is not really producing. Who will be more motivated to go and study more math, become a mathematician from these two? The one who knows, right?
Who knows better.
Yeah. So
that's a better grade.
Right. So if you studying something, if you have this information, the knowledge, maybe it's part of the motivation. You understand? For example, if let's say at work, if person he cannot do his job, it's not what he wants to do, and if he's lacking this knowledge, if he doesn't know how, let's say mechanic, shop, whatever, fixing cars, but if you find the right person, that we say hungry, let's say, person who wants to learn it, and knowledge, information and experience, like a student, you're already motivated to learn more. So maybe if you teach him, the more you teach him, the more you put energy in that person, the more he's going to be motivated. You understand? For example, if a person doesn't know how to do a certain thing, it's going to be almost impossible. You have to teach him, you have to put some energy, and then it's and obviously it has to look for that. It has to be certain vector. Again, I'm going to go back to vector psychology. I try not to right now because motivation, but it's still connected. Certain person in our tribe, he has role to be hunter, dermal vector. Anovector person in the tribe, its role, its nature, it's to teach young boys, young kids to become warriors. So he wants to do it naturally. He wants to be teacher naturally. That's his, you can say, purpose. If he doesn't do that, they feel miserable. If the person reads book, they usually read a lot of books, but if they don't pass this information further, that energy, we say, it has to go somewhere. It cannot stay in you. The more energy you can absorb and you can say hold, accumulate, keep it inside, the worse becomes that water. You understand?
Yeah.
So person needs to do whatever it's vector. Now, Anovector, he has to be teacher. He has to teach young kids. He loves kids. That's the best family man. He can be father. He can raise kids because he loves kids, but if he goes through some issues, psychosexual delays, problem, abused in childhood, his vector, it's accumulator. It's the one who takes everything and holds it, accumulates, like a battery, keeps the energy inside. So he can sit on the couch all day long and keeps his energy. He can save everything in his house and not throw away all the garbage for 20 years. Doesn't matter, TV doesn't work, he's gonna keep it in the house, accumulates. That's his vector. Money, sometimes. So when he has this psychosexual delay, it's actually psychosexual delay because why? Because he has to do that for the tribe. He has to give away this energy. You understand? If he keeps it, that what makes this water bad. So if he goes...
And also, I'm sorry to interrupt you, we discuss happiness and unhappiness. I guess if person does not follow his vector and his path, it makes them
going to be
unhappy.
Again, we'll call it fulfilled.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't know its vector, he doesn't know really the path, it might be hard. Yeah, it might.
It even can lead to the depressions.
It can lead to even worse things. Suicidal, it's audio vector also, that emptiness. Yeah, it can lead to bad stuff. And that ano vector, male, ano, it's obviously it's vector, erogenous zone, everything connects to personality. Gastrointestinal tract, all that part, that's vector. When we developed vectors, when it was evolution of vectors, first fist was done by ano vector. Only they can be aggressive with the fist. Why fist? All his body, he has fists. Anus, stomach, and throat. He can stuttering. It's also ano. Problem with stomach ulcers, all these issues. Arrhythmia, heart attack, only ano vector. All these issues because we're the first who did the fist, so we can hold the stomachs and evolutionize. We needed the tool to work. So that was ano. All his body is fists. So every time he goes through stress, he can have arrhythmia, he can have heart attack, only ano vector. No other vector can. I don't have ano vector, I cannot have, I know, issues with heart. I can have other problems. You understand? So it helps also
so
that.
Basically knowing your vector, you even can recognize what health issues and problems you can have in the future and be careful with this.
Not just recognize, you can solve. Heart attack, it's too late. Arrhythmia can be solved. Even cancer can lead to stomach cancer and in ano vector. So what happened, that vector, he has this deep love for kids. He wants to teach them, right? He has to give away its energy. If he keeps it and he has problem in family, abuse and all this offense, offense, when somebody offended, he also accumulates. He holds it all his life. A person can be offended only ano vector all his life. For example, if you tell me right now, F you, get out of here, you can call me whatever you want to call me, you can do anything to me, I'm going to forget it after 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. I'm not going to even remember. I had women, it happened to everybody, bad stuff they told me, I don't even remember what they told me. Ano vector is going to remember. And what happened, all this builds up energy, it doesn't release it. Because he has a love for kids, now he can harm kids. That's the pedophile, that's the vector who can harm. 99% of sexual violence and crime, sexual crime, ano vector can be done. Dermal vector, they could steal, they could rob. Dermal, skin. Their vector is It was also to hold down the resources of the tribe, so we're not gonna die and we have meat for tomorrow. So Dharma was helping to do that, so saving. And if he has this psychosexual delay, now he becomes thief. Instead of helping society and tribe to be engineer and helping to save the energy for the tribe, it becomes and does it for himself. Stealing, thief, liar, and bullshitting, and all this stuff is more, because I know they cannot lie. They're not liars. They're not going to steal from you $1, but they can be very bad if they have issues. Or it can be also very good family man. He could take care of family, work for his family, and probably all these vectors, they monogamous, because everyone wants only one wife, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't want 2 wives.
I mean, that depends.
Yes, but he still wants his wife to be his wife, not somebody else's wife.
Yeah, for sure. In
but
this case,
that's monogamy. Even if he's cheating, we're gonna talk maybe next time, I'll cover that too, because cheating, it's actually, it's a deep topic, it takes a while. So what happened, that vector is monogamous, and everybody else in the tribe, they want their wife to be only with them, and even if he has different wives, he wants to have his wife as its own wife. And we have vector, only one vector in the tribe, polygamous. Less than 5%, that's urethral vector. That was the vector who was responsible for all the women. And woman, also urethral woman, she could get birth very easy. She never has problem, and she can even take, like Catherine the Great, she could take boys and seduce them because somebody has to take care of these boys too. So it's kind of connected.
yeah.
Not every woman can take these boys.
Yeah,
Only
sure.
urethral woman.
And I think it's so rare.
Right, it's very rare. It's less than 5% because if we have too many urethral vector, they kill each other. It could be vector they wants. You cannot have 2 vectors in the same society, business, family. If son urethral and dad urethral, I don't think it happens. I don't know. Maybe Alexander the Great was urethral. Maybe his father was anal, but they show Alexander the Great gay in the movie. Did you see it?
Yeah, so.
But he was no dermal visual. He cannot be gay. Even if he all his tribe gay, urethral vector cannot be gay.
We never know. Maybe the story was made up. So.
Maybe whoever made this movie is
Yeah.
gay.
Who knows?
Because
Everything
urethral vector, and as I see Alexander the Great was urethral, that's the vector, the leader. He wants to, he's very fair, like Genghis Khan. 30% for the tribe, 30% for his top management and soldiers, and 30% for his family and friends. So he distributed third for everybody. He didn't take everything, and you eat whatever left over. And you remember, some kings, they did. They wanted everything.
Yeah.
That's why they got executed and killed, and because it's not urethral vector. It's anal, it could be dermal with psychosexual, it could be any other vector, but not urethral. They don't have this need to take everything, they want to give away their energy. So that's why urethral was balancing the tribe, otherwise we would kill each other. And maybe 2 men in the tribe left and 20 women, and the tribe not going to survive. So one person, urethral vector, it's like that bull, they can semen a lot of cows, they can fertilize a lot of cows. That's the same urethral vector was one of the roles, because without, and everybody else is monogamous, all the other vector. Woman, in Euricho, she's also polygamous. She also can have multiple men. I mean, now in society is unacceptable. Maybe they do it secretly.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna kind of go into that deeply, but she also polygamous, a Euricho woman. Now, as far as dermal-visual women and boys, because they use this sexuality for survival, that's why they're more prettier. They have to, versus anal, they look completely different. They have higher thighs because they have to give birth to a child. And dermal-visual, they usually